I'm going to tell you exactly which team wins the 2026 World Cup. And I'm not hedging. This is the most wide-open tournament in a generation. 48 teams, 3 host nations, and a post-Messi dynasty chaos nobody saw coming. Everyone's pointing at France, Spain, and Brazil. But the real answer might genuinely surprise you. Now that the tournament is actually underway, let me write the body section with accurate, grounded information about the contenders' real form at this World Cup. So let's actually break down who's genuinely in this race, because 6 weeks of real football has already separated the contenders from the pretenders. Start with France, because they are the most frightening team at this tournament. Mbappé has 6 goals in 2026. Michael Olise has been the World Cup's key creator, and a defense that has been largely unruffled kept its cool despite Sweden's talented attack. That's not a team warming up. That's a team already in cruise control. Since the tournament kicked off, ESPN's panel of 20 global reporters have had eyes only for Les Bleus at the top of their power rankings. And Mbappé looks like a man on a mission to make sure his country doesn't finish runners-up again like they did in 2022. The knockout pedigree is real. The depth is real. Dembélé, Barcola, and Tchouaméni have all been exceptional as supporting acts. France don't just have a first 11, they have a first 11 and a half. The injury concern that hung over them before the tournament? So far, so clean. Now Brazil. The story here is more complicated. Brazil came into the tournament facing 2 issues: the limited time Carlo Ancelotti had with the squad, and a growing injury list, with Militão, Rodrigo, and Estevão all ruled out entirely. That's not a footnote. Those are 3 players who were supposed to start. Brazil are now locked into a round of 16 clash against Norway, and while they've survived the group stage, the cracks are visible. The attacking flair is still there, the semi-final fragility, that familiar, maddening pattern of Brazilian sides that dazzle and then buckle when it gets tight, hasn't gone away. Ancelotti has the tactical brain, but he hasn't had the time to hardwire the mentality. England. Finally, a squad that looks like it could win ugly, which is exactly what knockout football demands. Harry Kane has been the one thing working consistently. His 2 goals against Congo DR turned a 1-0 deficit into a 2-1 win. But that's also the problem. Madueke, Spence, and Rashford haven't looked great. Saka still doesn't look back to his brilliant best. The defense has looked wobbly when challenged, and the midfield trio of Rice, Bellingham, and Anderson need to move the ball faster. England are not dead. England are also not yet convincing. The weight of history sits on that squad like a backpack full of bricks, and their penalty record in tournament football is a conversation nobody in that dressing room wants to have. Germany, the most improved side since their 2024 rebuild, and genuinely dangerous. Thomas Tuchel's side raised expectations with a 4-2 win over Croatia in their opening game, but they've been making heavy work of it since. Despite having a decent talent advantage over nearly everyone else in the 48-team field, they aren't quite clicking in key areas. Germany are a threat. They are not yet a certainty. And then there's Spain. Spain defeated Austria 3-0 in the round of 32 and are heading into a round of 16 clash against Portugal in Dallas. Spain overtook Argentina at the top of the FIFA rankings in September 2025, and their positional play this tournament has been the best in the field. Suffocating, precise, relentless. The question everyone keeps asking about Spain is whether they have a killer instinct when the game gets physical and the margin is a single mistake. They're beautiful. Are they ruthless? That's the question that separates this whole field. 5 teams with genuine claims. 2 that rise above the rest when you look at the full picture: France and Spain. France's bracket is set up well, with a potential quarterfinal against Netherlands or Morocco, and they haven't had to dig deep yet to pull out a result. Spain face Portugal next, which is a different kind of test entirely. What happens in that match, and what happens in the bracket beyond it, is exactly where this prediction gets decided. The host nation wildcard, the bracket luck, and the one factor most pundits are still sleeping on. That's where we go next. France or Spain? Which one do you think has the edge when the knockout pressure really hits? Drop your answer in the comments below. Because the bracket is where this whole prediction gets decided, and that's exactly where we're going next. Argentina, because you can't talk about who wins this World Cup without talking about the elephant in the room wearing the number 10. Messi shook off that pre-tournament hamstring scare and has scored in every single game, with his goal against Cape Verde becoming his 20th in World Cup history, the outright all-time record. That has him joint top of the Golden Boot race alongside Mbappe and Erling Haaland, at 39 years old, in his 6th World Cup. The numbers are genuinely staggering, and the emotional pull of it is real. I get it. Every football fan with a pulse wants this story to end with Messi lifting the trophy again. But here's the clear-eyed read. Argentina needed extra time to beat Cape Verde 3-2 in the round of 32, with Lautaro Martinez equalizing deep in extra time before a late-own goal sent them through. Cape Verde, that's not a dominant champion's performance. That's a team leaning entirely on one man's brilliance and hoping the chaos resolves in their favor. Scaloni kept the spine of his Qatar 2022 winners, retaining 17 champions. But this squad is not deeper than it was 4 years ago. Without Messi at absolute peak, the midfield and attack don't frighten you the same way France or Spain do. Argentina are a genuine threat as long as Messi is fit and on fire. The moment he isn't, the path closes fast. Now, the host nation wildcard. All 3 co-hosts advance to the round of 16, the United States beating Bosnia and Herzegovina, Canada topping South Africa, and Mexico knocking out Ecuador. The crowd factor at this tournament is real, and it has been relentless. The USMNT face Belgium on Monday night in Seattle, and if you think a raucous American crowd in a knockout game doesn't rattle a European side that's never experienced that atmosphere, you haven't been watching. The USA are not winning this tournament, but they are absolutely capable of being the chaos agent that eliminates someone who should have gone further. Belgium on a bad night, in front of 70,000 screaming Americans, is a banana skin. Then there's the bracket itself, and this is where the prediction actually lives. Look at the draw. Portugal face Spain in Dallas in the round of 16, with the winner of that match facing the USA-Belgium winner in Los Angeles. That is the road to hell. Spain, who have been the most controlled and precise team in this tournament, now have to go through Portugal, their fiercest Iberian rival, and potentially the home nation crowd, just to reach a semifinal. That is a brutal bracket. France, meanwhile, faced Paraguay in the round of 16 in Philadelphia, a far gentler path to the quarterfinal. The bracket hasn't just separated the contenders, it has actively punished Spain for their group stage dominance. Coaching and squad cohesion under pressure is the final variable that seals this. France have Deschamps, who has been to a World Cup final and a World Cup semi-final in the last 2 cycles, and knows exactly how to manage a squad through the grind of a knockout tournament. His players trust the system. They don't need to be brilliant every game. They need to be unbeatable when it matters. That's a different skill, and France have it. France win the 2026 World Cup. Mbappe is the tournament's best player. The squad depth is unmatched, and the bracket has handed them a cleaner path to the final than any other top contender. The one scenario where this falls apart is if Argentina's Messi stays fully fit and catches France in the semifinals, because that matchup, with the revenge narrative from 2022 burning underneath it, would be the most unpredictable game of football played in a generation. If Messi's hamstring holds and Argentina get there, all bets are off. But if you're asking me to commit, and I said at the start I would, France lift the trophy at MetLife Stadium on July 19th. Subscribe for every update as this tournament unfolds, and watch our full squad breakdown next.